Ask Doctor Mujajati is brought to you by Vision Care Opticians.
Hello, welcome to Ask Dr. Mujajati with me, your host, Dr. Mujajati. This show is intended to address any of your medical issues in a manner and fashion that you are able to understand. So on this show, our goal is to ensure that our listeners and followers are up to date on medical issues that are pertinent both to them, their community, and the country. This morning or today, we are addressing a very important topic, and this topic relates around the issues of should or must women wear underwear. Of course, the modern woman nowadays, statistics show, though anecdotal, I'm sure my host will have a lot to say about that modern women nowadays do not want to wear underwear. And we are going to discuss that issue in detail. Are there medical issues that relate to not wearing underwear? Why should even people wear underwear? Has underwear got any purpose? To help me address this matter is my host, Dr. Muyuni. Dr. Muyuni, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. And my name is Mutinta Muyuni. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist and here to answer all these questions.
Right.
Marvelous topic, I must say.
I thought as much. So, Dr. Muyuni, to start with, what is the purpose of underwear?
Oh, I think it's an interesting line of thought. Does underwear play a role? I think the older you get, the more underwear you wear. I think if we think from the time we're toddlers, it starts with diapers, moves on to panties, and then moves on to corsets and bras and a bit more underwear. But the reasons we wear underwear are varied. The type of underwear we wear and why we wear it, there are multiple reasons behind that. We'd like to think that it's a kind of private thing, the underwear, top secret. But as a gynecologist, of course, we deal with underwear all the time. Women show us what's on their underwear. And if you're not wearing any, they tell us why they prefer it like that. And it's an interesting thing. You mentioned that the numbers are increasing, that women are not wearing underwear.
Anecdotal, though. I think that, in social interactions, I get the impression that the modern woman doesn't wear underwear. And I've been wondering, is there a purpose to underwear, really? And why the deviation, this new preference for not wearing underwear?
So here's the thing, and I think after the show, you'll let me know a bit more whether this was what kind of study, who did the study.
Okay, we'll address that. We'll address that.
And why they did the study. So, underwear, of course, it's a protective cover. As you know, women, the way our design is, with men, they have, and in this case, I'm referring to the panties or, boxers or briefs, as it would allude to men.
Yeah.
For women, the way we are made, we are open down there. We pass urine from down there. We have periods from down there. We give birth from down there. And that area, basically, it has moisture. And because of the way we are made, particularly in our setting, African women, a good number, they are well endowed, like in the thigh area, that there's not much circulation of air going there. And that underwear catches moisture. It catches moisture. How does the moisture come about? It's normal.
Yeah.
Women either are moist because they are on their periods. They can be moist because they have the different time of the cycle. They can be moist because it's just after intimacy. They can be moist because a little seepage of urine. There are all sorts of reasons why you might be a little moist down there. And that's absolutely normal. And so to be comfortable, because things have changed. As women, we have to participate in, day-to-day life. We earn a living just like anyone else. And we can't afford to have excuses of, I'm not on my menses and therefore I can't go for work. I can't go for work. But these undergarments, apart from catching moisture and so on, they allow us also to just get about our business with confidence. Because if I'm not wearing underwear and I trip, and people will get an eyeful, a right eyeful. And we don't want that. But however, it's not everybody who has this this level of confidence. Some women don't mind if you trip or not. Is it wrong that someone should see my behind? Or people have different levels of comfort, and I will not necessarily go into that. But that's one of the things.
Which brings me to the next question, Dr. Muyuni.
Yes.
Is it compulsory to wear underwear?
It's not, absolutely.
Okay. Why do you say that?
It's up to your comfort and why you are uncomfortable. If you are comfortable without underwear, if we force you to put it on, if perchance the law came about that all women should wear underwear, then you would be greatly disadvantaged. There are many factors. For example, I'm a big lady. I will not walk into an ordinary store and find my underwear size. So if you find me without underwear, it may be because
there's no size.
There's no size, or it may be because there's no size, or because I've chosen not to wear it. So there are various reasons why underwear can or cannot be worn for whatever reasons.
Now, here's the issue, right? Like you've rightly said, that because of the biological makeup and because of the secretions and moisture and all kinds of secretions that may or may not come up. Some are scheduled, like you've rightly said. Some are scheduled like the regular monthly periods. But the question is here, we are talking about underwear preventing things from going in. Okay, because again, there could be things going in. But there are also things going out.
If you're in a dusty playground and you're sitting with your legs wide open, you're watching a beach volleyball game or something like that, if you're wearing underwear or some other clothing that may protect to prevent air or sand or any foreign body from entering that's of advantage to you. Mind you, we want to maintain the vaginal, makeup as close to normal as possible. So on the things going in, these might be some of them. Apart from what a woman puts in herself, these may be some of the protective barriers that may be of benefit.
Which brings me to the next question, Dr. Muyuni. Are there benefits to wearing underwear?
Precisely what I've just mentioned. And eye candy. Human beings are visually stimulated. If you've got pretty underwear, pretty lingerie, it's guaranteed to make a juicy start to the evening. So, there are all sorts of references that I've come across with underwear. Some say, like granny pants, the underwear that's up to literally below your chest here. Some say, bikini underwear. There's also the thongs or the G-strings. There are all sorts of names.
So there are social benefits too.
There are social benefits.
And who benefits from that social benefit?
We benefit as women. We feel more confident as we are, going about our business. For whatever reason that I'd want, a partner to see me in this way, I feel more confidence if my underwear is pretty. And it's beneficial to our gentlemen as well. If they like our underwear, then that's always nice. Valentine's Day is coming up. These are all ideas and suggestions. What a man may buy for his woman, though men are also notorious for getting the wrong size. But yeah.
Guys, you heard. There's an issue of wrong size here.
If you're using wear like tampons,
Yes.
you needn't wear underwear. But if you're using wear that is external, like pads, sanitary pads, that holds them up very well. And, you know, it's of definite advantage because we definitely can go about our work without much disturbance. I think we've all come to understand that this is a social norm and also a cultural norm. But when it comes also to culture, there is the issue then of, should I wear my underwear all the time? Because there is some teachings apart, especially for married women, that don't sleep with your underwear on.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
There's that issue as well that I want you to address.
Yeah.
Now, there's this issue of fabrics.
Yes.
I know, I'm guessing, because I don't wear, well, not that I don't wear underwear. We're discussing underwear for women here.
We're glad you don't wear women's underwear, Doc.
I don't wear women's underwear. But there's this issue of fabrics. Are there some fabrics that are good for underwear for women? Are there some fabrics that are not okay? And what would be some of the disadvantages with regards to certain fabrics? And what fabrics are good?
So the good fabrics are the natural fabrics, such as cotton. I think the main thing really is cotton. It allows the area to breathe. You don't necessarily generate a lot of heat. Any moisture that comes up is, soon absorbed. You don't become very wet down there. And the excessive wetness may result in, fertile ground for development of infections or overgrowth of bacterial species or yeast. And then the excess moisture also giving you things like chafing of skin or irritation of the skin. And so cotton is a good fabric. Nylon, spandex, lace, all these synthetic underwear. Nice to look at, but not very practical for health purposes. Yeah. So once in a while, I'm not saying, Doc, no one should wear lace underwear before there's a warrant out for my arrest. I'm just saying that cotton underwear is something good to wear regularly. Synthetic, especially if you're going to be out at work the whole day.
Right.
When you get back home or when it's the weekend and you've got a bit more time to yourself, yes, synthetic underwear is very acceptable. But if you've got also excessive discharge for any reason, apart from even your biological functions, cotton underwear is a good way to go.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Babe and I'm going to be one of your hosts on a new exciting TV show called Thursday. So every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I get to be joined by two other amazing hosts and we talk about things like girls, boys, society, relationships, dating, everything in between. I can't wait to be able to interact with you guys in the comment section. So let us know if you like the show. Do share it with anybody you think would enjoy it as well. And I'll see you there.
Dr. Mujajati, the other issue that comes to mind here pertaining to this issue, notwithstanding the economics and notwithstanding that these things come with cost, how often should a lady change underwear in a day? Is there recommended? Can a lady wear one underwear the whole day without any issues?
You can wear underwear the whole day without any issues.
Same pair?
The same pair. If you want to change it or you for reasons, especially of the moisture and sweating perhaps, or if you're not comfortable with the odor that you have from the reproductive area, you can change once or twice. If you're going to be wet, for example, you go to work and you're getting moist by 10 o'clock, some people will prefer actually to just change the underwear. Other people will prefer to use panty liners. But even with the panty liners, comes the issue again of it's not very breathable. It doesn't allow the area to breathe. And so a prolonged use of liner, if you're going to change your liner every 3 hours or so, maybe that can be acceptable. But if you're going to wear it the whole day, that's also bringing added risk. So you can change your panties as frequently as you are comfortable with as an individual during the course of the day, because your body will dictate when you should change this.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the issue of how frequently one should change underwear, is there a basic number of underwear that a woman should have, looking at the number of times one has to change? Can I do with 2 of them?
So I think you should have a minimum of 1 panty per day.
Okay.
Minimum. And something maybe to change in for the evening if you want. So if we work on a basic premise of, say, 2 panties in a day, that should work as a minimum. How long should you keep these panties will depend on the problems that you have with them.
Okay.
If you're not really someone who struggles with recurrent yeast infections, which also underwear has a bearing with, recurrent, rash around the area there. If you are not having these issues, as long as you keep them washed, cleaned, ironed, dried, I think you're good to go. You can keep them as long as when. But I think once a year to change all your underwear is good enough.
Right. Yeah. So I think Dr. Muni is saying that notwithstanding economics or the number of underwear that one has, the key issue here is hygiene. Keep them clean, dry, and you said what?
You iron them.
Yes, and iron them. And I think that's what is key. So the number really doesn't matter. You may have been told that women need to keep a whole bunch of underwear. It really doesn't matter. What is important is that whatever underwear you wear is clean, it is dry, and it is ironed. So hygiene is the key issue here. Now, let me bring you to another issue, Dr. Mione. Word on the street is that there's people who are buying underwear, secondhand underwear. Now, with the issues we've discussed so far up to this point, is secondhand underwear encouraged or discouraged? First of all, what's your take on secondhand underwear before I ask you the follow-up questions on the same?
I'm here to confirm that one. Okay. I'm here to confirm that women and men are using thrift underwear. They are using, secondhand boxers. I'll start with the men. Secondhand
we're
boxers.
Discussing women today.
Secondhand bras.
We're discussing women today.
Yes. Secondhand bras, secondhand swimsuits. They are using a lot of these. It's only that, like I said, underwear is a private thing. So no one's going to tell you, no matter how good what you're seeing is looking, oh, babe, I got this from Salaula or whatever. It's a private thing. However, circumstances and different reasons, some people feel the underwear that is bought thrift is more durable and more comfortable in wearing than what is available in some of these shops, where perhaps you've worn it that day and it snaps the very day and you have one breast hanging lower than the other, things like that. But yes, women do use thrift underwear. If you come across different groups or where women are freely discussing, they do discuss, or they're not going to discuss things like that in front of men. But they do use it. Even lingerie, as we go towards the Valentine's again, you'll see a lot more lingerie sprouting. And there's some good eye candy in thrift stores. Is it good for you to use? Of course, it's not good for you to use thrift underwear without treating it or attending to it, because you could pick up some infections from it. What are the infections you can pick up from underwear or clothing? Shared bath towels, shared underwear. Sexually transmitted infections like Trichomonas vaginalis, which would result in a yellowish discharge that results in itching and burning. If you do buy thrift underwear, this is a free world. Wash it. Use some bleach. Sun dry. And iron it. If you can afford new underwear each time that you are the first user, that is the best. If you cannot and you find yourself buying thrift clothing, just make sure you follow the rules that go with buying thrift. Because I think a lot more people use thrift than you would like to imagine. But like I said, it's a private industry. It's a private thing that happens. And people who do use these, I believe, know what to do with them, but more information is required.
That's precisely why I raised the issue, because you see, even just secondhand clothing.
It's the same thing with
like
gym clothing.
Or even
gym clothing is
those very
intimate.
tight ones.
Yeah. It's very intimate, tight. There's a lot of sweating into it. And there's a lot of good gym clothing that's also thrift. Mind you, when we're talking of thrift or salaula clothing, it's not all the time that this clothing has been used by somebody. Sometimes it just has a minor factory defect and it finds itself in that bundle. But all the same, whether it was brand new, salaula or thrift, it has to be washed, bleached, sun-dried and ironed before you can safely use it. And I think once you've done that and observe regular provisions to clean your underwear as you would your brand new store-bought stuff, I think you should be okay. That's precisely the reason why in stores they don't allow you to try on the underwear as you are buying it, because we don't know what who's trying has. So make sure that you look after your underwear, you look after those swimsuits, and there are a lot. Sometimes the cutest things can be found in these areas, but just do your due diligence if you are going to use those. Secondhand underwear or thrift underwear, it's a thing. I'm not going to deny it. I see a lot of women and a lot of my patients are free enough to talk to me about these things. We chat.
Right. Now, we've seen that with regards to these issues, there's some people who react to certain pigments, certain dyes, and things like that. Have you come across patients that come because they have reacted to the dye in their underwear?
Yes, actually I have. Mostly they react because of things they use, like the panty liners, the sanitary wear, the pads or the tampons. And usually the story is, I usually use a certain brand, and now that I've changed, I have itching, I have excessive discharge, I'm in pain. So the most important thing is to know your own normal, know what you use and try and stick with it. If you are a person who buys a certain brand from a certain shop, try and stick with it. Because some brands may be, outwardly the name is the same, but the quality may differ. We do have counterfeit products out there. So some people do react. And these are some of the women you will find mostly who say, I'm not wearing underwear. I don't wear underwear, doc. I hope you don't mind. And I don't, because that's your normal. You shouldn't have to apologize for it.
Yeah.
If you're not being a public nuisance, exposing yourself, look, we're all good. Yeah.
Right. The issue of wearing very tight underwear for women, what are the issues that come with it?
Okay. With the tight underwear, it comes also with preference. But the recommendation is don't wear something that's so tight that it imprints deep on your skin, that you will be, having some abdominal pain even after you take it off, or that your area cannot breathe, or have fresh air down there because of that tight underwear. Women will prefer to wear tight underwear at certain times, after childbirth, for example.
Yeah.
Because you have heavy bleeding and you want your sanitary wear to absorb and not to have any embarrassing leakages or spills. People wear tight underwear in that circumstance or during the menses. But beyond that, let us try and wear underwear that is just the right fit, not to leave a deep imprint or press so hard.
Right. Now, there's another issue I wanted to discuss here, is the issue of how long should somebody keep underwear before they replace it? Is there an average time?
No. I think when we discussed earlier, we said we'd keep it.
So the issue is hygiene.
Yeah.
So you can keep the underwear as long as you want.
You can keep it as long as you want. If you can change it at least annually, that would be good.
Okay.
But all other circumstances prevailing, observe hygiene at bare minimum. Yeah.
Right. There's the issue where women are advised to sleep without underwear. Some call it going commando.
Yes.
You heard of that?
I've heard of it.
Is there a medical issue to that? Are there medical related benefits to it, or is it just a social preference?
There are medical benefits. I actually done a lot of thought into some of the traditional teachings that are done for women. And you'll find that there is some medical, there's some medical benefit. A woman with experience need not be a doctor per se, but she'll be able to guide the younger ones. I think even in some religious teachings, it says the older women should guide the younger women. Sometimes experience guides us without us even knowing that we are actually following good medical principles. The issue is you've been in your underwear, in your corset the whole day from 6. You get home at 6 p.m. and you continue again, leaving that area closed. The area has to breathe. The area just needs to breathe. So that is the main issue. The other non-medical benefit is it promotes good relations. It promotes some intimacy between, bed partners. Yeah, there are many bed partners, but if you're sleeping with your kids, maybe leave the underwear on or whatever. We don't want them to get an eyeful. But if we are thinking now of a marriage bed or something in those lines.
It's good you've clarified.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, in that event, it promotes good relations. There is also, like I keep alluding to, the issue of am I very wet? Am I going to stain my beddings? And it's why also people say, no, as, a couple, wash your own beddings, because there are all sorts of biological spills that happen in a couple's beddings. So keep the underwear on. If it's that time of the month, keep it on if you're having excessive discharge. Beyond that, let the area breathe. Let's be natural. If you are the kind of person who has a phobia or a fear of what if there's a break-in and I don't have my underwear on, or war breaks out, or there's an earthquake and I run out. I can't, So wear some loose nightwear or something that will allow fresh air. And if, God forbid, there's an earthquake, you'll be able to make a clear run for it without worrying about who's going to see the next thing. Yeah.
I see what you mean.
For your information, women are always, there's the talk of kuchosa mans. It's normal. People have some moisture, but you then know whether that moisture is harmful if it's being a nuisance to you, if you are too wet, it's running down your leg, and it does run down your leg sometimes.
Okay. I didn't know.
It does run down your leg if it's excessive, or it may go right to the anal passage and, cause even some fungal irritation down there. Sometimes even the color of your skin may change.
Yeah.
You know how you have excess moisture, your skin starts to look gray. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. So if you see any of these, seek treatment. But in the meantime, endeavor to observe. Try allowing the area to breathe. Change your underwear. Majority of it should be breathable underwear, cotton underwear, of whatever design. Mm-hmm. If you are using bikini underwear or full underwear that goes above your belly button, or G-strings or thongs, you can wear them according to, what clothing design you want to wear. But just observe the hygiene as you would. Mm-hmm. So for those with discharge, find out what's the cause first. Mm-hmm. Change your underwear if you are struggling with a discharge that is not going away. Mm-hmm. Don't be in a rush to just seek douches and things. Yeah. Look at the whole thing holistically. Sometimes you may even need to do away with that corset or the beloved cycling that, holds our bellies as we are going about our business, holds our bits together. Sometimes you may need to take a break from that and do some you time, mm-hmm. and just keep it simple in that sense.
Right.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this issue, Dr. Muyuni, when all is said and done,
there's one thing
yes,
that I wanted to emphasize.
Yeah.
When we're doing the wash, mm-hmm. rinse it very well, because we may be following all the steps, but if we are not rinsing adequately, it means you are exposing your area to more chemicals.
Yes.
More fabric softener, more detergent. Use gentle things. Even, with the perfumes or things down there. Mm-hmm. Some people like to spray perfume on their undies. Mm-hmm. Let's try and desist. Use other body parts to perfume yourself or your dress. Down that side, keep it as simple as possible.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the people spray perfume down there.
The question is why? The question is why. And that's a topic for another day.
I think so. I'll invite you, we come and address that.
Allow your body to breathe. For the night time, that's the best time to leave it off if you can. If the moisture is a bit excessive, then you may wear a loose underwear or a loose cotton underwear to try and catch that moisture. If it's still excessive and winding up on your bed or your beddings, come through. Let's have a chat and see if there's anything that can be done about that discharge. But moisture is part of us, and moisture is here to stay.
Right. Thanks, Dr. Muyuni, for coming, and we are grateful that you made time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right. So there you have it. So today we were discussing this issue of why women should wear underwear, and Dr. Muyuni did her best to enlighten us on the issues. And like we said earlier, if you have any questions relating to this subject, please leave the questions in the comment section or drop us an email, and we will make time to get back to you. Dr. Muyuni, I hope you make time to come back for another exciting topic on this show.
I'm waiting for when we're discussing men's underwear.
No, we'll get to that.
That's a hot topic right there.
We'll get to that. There you have it. From me and the Ask Dr. Mujajati team, it's good evening and stay healthy. Don't forget to drink water, and underwear is not your enemy. Being dry is healthy. Basically, the vagina must always be dry. What's your issue? What's your take on that?
Okay, straightforward. That's a myth. The vagina is moist almost all the time.
The vagina remains the same after birth. Fact or myth, Dr. Muyuni?
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. The truth is,
Ask Dr. Mujajati was brought to you by Vision Care Opticians.
a Kazadi Films original.